Hello to everyone, my name is Greg Horat and welcome to our new video here ahead of the very important FOMC decision. As you know, there are expectations that FOMC will do the rate hike. So the question is if they will maybe do more than market expect, or maybe will they do less. So in either case, they are hawkish, and clearly that is already priced in by the market, especially after recent dips on S&P 500, which came very close to 4,000 level. And also, as you know, the US dollar is also trading around the highs, while the euro is testing the lows. So before we go to some of the FX charts, let me go through this on the S&P 500 and what I'm looking for. Well, notice that the S&P 500 here, I'm still observing a free wave drop, a corrective movement from the start of the year. And so far, I see a free wave movement with 5 subwaves already in place for a wave C. So there is a chance that market is coming very close to a support. Notice that I have below here VIX index, known as a fear index, which is currently or has been on the rise since start of April, now approaching the upper side of this range. And usually when we are moving into some extreme pessimism or fear, which is clearly identified this by Wix index, then obviously we should be aware of potential new slowdown. Okay, so it means that sooner or later new cycle will occur, and usually if this week index is going to see a reversal lower, obviously the S&P 500 will stabilize. So I'm looking for potential supports for wave C. The first one could be this lower trendline support, but a deeper one could be also if maybe there will be an ABC correction instead of a flat here for wave 4. So in such case, watch out for resistance here around 4,300 and then next sell off. But generally speaking, I think that we have seen some very nice drop, and I really love the idea that this 5 wave weakness already cleared out some stops here below wave A, meaning that there can be some rally coming in minimum 3 waves. Also, let's take a look now. We set on euro dollar first. So euro dollar is coming to the downside, it's trading at the lows. But notice that there is room for more weakness. We are seeing price action here in a 4th wave, and ideally this is a triangle. Okay, so a triangle, as you know, occur prior to the final move within a higher degree trend. So we are now approaching the upper side of this resistance here for a wave E. So watch out for potential further sell-off. I also think that important events like FOMC will very rarely allow traders to be long with small risk. Okay, so as you know, during important events, market can be both sided, can be moving into both directions. So I'm really curious if we will see maybe a drop below 104.70, potentially even lower prices, and then we could stabilize maybe later this week, maybe even after non-farm payroll support. Since we know that 5th wave will occur at some point, we clearly should be aware that there can be limited weakness. Also, if maybe suddenly this wave 4 would rally, the next resistance is at 106.55 at this very minor 4th wave here. Also, let's take a look at the dollar index. However, despite this euro dollar, I'm looking for another lag in the very near term for a break to a new low, but then I would expect a major correction. However, this major correction, it doesn't mean that euro dollar would be bullish, but it means that we could be slowing down. And with that in mind, I think that the next correction that we will see at a higher degree will be wave 4. Okay, so watch out for potential wave 4 pullback here on dollar index. We are here at very important temporary resistance levels. So maybe this 5th wave is going to see this extended 5th wave is going to see limited upside, and then watch out for this wave 4 pullback and then more upside. And why I think that there will be more upside after this wave 4 pullback? Well, you have here this I have here this is it's just a second. I have here this dollar index, and in green we have COT data. So these are large speculators who are obviously long for the last few months. And what we are seeing, what is very interesting, is that speculators here in green are not at that extreme levels compared to price. Okay, so it appears that there is room for more upside after the next pullback on price, because we are still not seeing such extreme readings here regarding this position sentiment. Okay, so definitely we have to stick with the uptrend, but just be aware that there can be some pullback, the major one not so far away. Now let's take a look also on crude oil and dollar Mexican peso. Now crude oil is trying to come slightly higher here. We broken this trend line back in April with a very nice bullish impulse here away from that 93.40 level that was stopped, that was triggered for just for a few ticks here before market recovered. And then more importantly, we have seen only 3 wave setback. So I think that there can be more upside coming at least towards 109, maybe possibly even 112 area, and then we'll see what happens there. Keep in mind that still this could be some kind of a triangle, still even bearish or bullish triangles are very tricky. But why I think that that we should be aware of potential more upside here on crude oil is also because, as you know, Europe is trying to ban completely the imports from Russia. So obviously, if that would be the case, I think that energy prices could be higher, even if just temporary. I think that there is much better and stronger resistance at higher prices. Okay, at the on the other side of this trade, obviously higher crude oil means that commodity currencies could be very strong. So watch out for Canadian dollar and watch out also for Mexican peso. I really like Mexican peso, and to give you the perspective here, I'm definitely bearish on a higher degree trend here on Mexican peso, and I will be expecting potentially even more weakness. Okay, especially if crude oil would see uh, higher prices, if stocks would hold the support today after the FOMC, and maybe if we somehow investors would be disappointed by their decision, who knows, then of course if stocks would come higher, I think the dollar Mexican peso will see more weakness. I really love the idea here that the triangle line here, the extended one, back from 2021 lows, is now retesting it. Okay, at the same time, obviously you can see that crude oil can see more upside. Also watch out for euro Mexican peso. This one could be maybe even better, because euro obviously is in much worse position than US dollar, especially regarding bank policy. So I think that euro could stay under pressure here. We have a very nice downtrend, and I think that this downtrend here could resume, especially if Mexican peso here will really bounce away from that trend line. Okay, now also let's take a look very quickly at gold. So what is going on gold? Well, we've been looking for move to the downside on gold, and so far we can already count 5 sub waves down. Okay, so these 5 waves down suggest that we are most likely approaching some support, because each time when we see 5 waves, we should be aware of a 3-wave retracement. This has also been the case here. We have seen a 5 waves down, a 3-wave retracement, and another 5 waves down. So maybe there will be only a 3-wave rise, who knows, but just I am aware that current drop from mid of April is really in the late stages, and that we could see some price stabilization. Of course, there is still a room for equality to be hit around 1820 area, but generally speaking, I think it's very important to be aware of potential limited weakness, especially if we will see this current leg moving back into this pivot area here around 1800 1820. That's, I think, very important psychological level. Also regarding gold silver ratio, why I think that prices could rally in the near future is that here we can see some very nice reversal to the downside, and currently we are testing this broken trend line. So if gold silver ratio will see more weakness, usually that's positive. That's positive for metals. So clearly just another indication that we could be potentially looking for looking for some supports here in the near term. Okay, traders, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know in our commentary box below. Please share or like this video and support our work so that we will make even more of those in the future. Okay, traders, have a good day and trade well. Bye.